All right, so this review has actually taken me a really long time to do. I seen Place Beyond the Pines almost 3 weeks ago, and when I walked out, I said to myself before I reviewed this movie, I wanted to see it one more time, and the reason why was because I was a bit underwhelmed, and I really wanted to get my entire opinion on the film. If you guys didn't know, I was extremely anticipated for this movie. Blue Valentine's one of my all-time favorite movies. I think it's a modern-day masterpiece. So, I mean, you guys know how high I am on Derek Cianfrances and especially Ryan Gosling. I mean, the dude's my favorite actor currently, you know. So, I was extremely high. My favorite critic on YouTube gave it an A plus. My favorite website gave it an A plus. They said it's a masterpiece. So I'm like, yeah, I'm. This is a 10 out of 10, no doubt about it. And when I walked out, it wasn't a 10 out of 10. So I said I want to see it twice before I can, I didn't want to say something in my review that I didn't mean 2 months later after I re-seen it or something like that. So I've been saying to myself, I'm going to re-see this movie before I review it. And it's taken me a few weeks, and I just seen it again this morning. And yeah, so here we go. Uh, I really think this is a great film. I think it's a very good movie, but it has its problems. Let me just. There's no spoilers. I never spoil anything, but specifically for this film, I won't spoil anything. I'm gonna break it up though. As you guys should know, it's broken up into three, almost equal amounts of time thirds. So it's broken up into three thirds. The first third, brilliant. I think everything about the first third of the film is absolutely breathtakingly brilliant. Ryan Gosling, if you guys have seen my room tour, I have a Drive poster. I absolutely love Ryan Gosling. I think he's my favorite actor. I just cannot praise him enough. I think while the Drive character, Driver, extremely memorable character, better movie, but I would say that Luke Glanton in The Place Beyond the Pines is his most memorable character, his best character and his most memorable. Absolutely think it's just such a great character and such a brilliant performance. And I wish the first act was the entire film, but it's not. He's great. Ben Middleton is freaking awesome. I loved him in this movie. He's not in it all that much, but he's terrific. And he's a great supporting actor, and I really loved him in this. Eva Mendes is very good. The thing with her is I have such low expectations because she hasn't really done anything that I thought she was great. But I mean, she's probably just decent, or she's just good. But she brings her A game to this movie. She's not, she's not bad, as I should say. But everything, the direction, the cinematography, the acting, the score, brilliant. I'm going to talk about the cinematography as a whole, but the first opening sequence is so engaging and such an amazing scene from a camera standpoint. I'm a film student, and it's not easy to capture what these guys did, and it was just absolutely brilliant. And on to the second act. The second act, again, Bradley Cooper is very good in the second act of this film. He is. At first I was a little underwhelmed by his performance, but I think that's because of the film. The second time through, I think he's very good in this movie. This is his second best performance I've ever seen him give, behind Silver Linings. But he is very good in this movie. His character is very arrogant and very cocky, and that's what I liked about him. He's not a likable character, but you feel for him, and you think, there's parts where you think he is likable. There's parts where you think he's unlikable, and I think that's because he gives a great performance. I really appreciated what he did. I appreciated what Ray Liotta did in this, in his scenes, because he just plays weasel. He plays piece of shit very well, and that's what he is in this movie. He's kind of a piece of shit. And my problems with the second act, I would give I'm going to grade the acts. The first act, I'm going to give a 10 out of 10. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I thought it was fantastic. The second act, I'd give a 9. I really enjoyed it. I wish, in all honesty, I think not changing anything, I think the film could have ended right when the second act ended. I think it would have been a great ending. It would have shown, a change. And the first ending is about a rise, of a criminal, and the second act can show it has all kinds of different themes. It has tons of thematic elements, and it could have been its own act in the movie. It could have just been those two acts, and it could have ended. And I think it would have just been extremely well. But they keep the fathers and sons element to the film, and that's where the third act comes into place. And that's obviously, it's everyone who has problems with this movie's biggest problem is the third act. And that's my biggest problem as well. I think the performances from Emory Cohen and Dane DeHaan are very good, but the problem with the third act is more the writing. The writing, it loses where it's going. It stumbles to the finish line, as I've put in a couple tweets. I think the biggest problem is that they didn't know where to end it. And there's a few things where you question the characters. You question why these characters are doing this. Big coincidences have to take place. And I might do a video reaction, or like a full analysis of the film, and talk about why the third act, what I would have done. I mean, granted, I'm not saying I'm better than Derek or anything like that, but what I would have liked to seen, or what I think they could have improved on. But there's just too many coincidences. There's too many questions being asked, like why? What's the point? And there's too many cultural themes. I think the ending, the last couple minutes, are very good. The first time I seen it, I was underwhelmed, but I think that's just because the whole final 15 minutes are a bit underwhelming, but the final 2 minutes of the movie are very good. And I just had big problems with the third act. The third act I'd give about a 7. 6.5, 7. So yeah, going into it, overall, it's a great movie. It's not my number one so far this year. I'm going to review that one next, but it's a very good movie. It's a movie that, packs a punch. It's very good. Ryan Gosling's terrific. Bradley Cooper's great, and it's got some memorable characters, memorable scenes, but it stumbles by its third act, and that's what keeps it from being, a 9 or so. I'm going to give it an 8.5, but that's not knocking this director. This director is a very, very brilliant director. He just stumbled, by trying to make it too epic, trying to make it too much. And I think that's, it's not his fault. It's just, well, it is his fault, but you can't credit the man for too much creativity. So Derek's a great director, but the best thing, the cinematography, the score, the performances, all fantastic. Especially the cinematography. Like I said, I gave it an 8.5. If you haven't seen The Place Beyond the Pines yet, please do so. I know this is a really long review, but I had a lot to say. So if you haven't seen it, like I said, it's not for everyone. It's slow, but it's very good. It stumbles a bit in the third act. I can admit that. I think anyone can admit that. But do so, see it. I think it's worth a shot if you're interested. But like I said, it's really not for everyone. So whatever. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Tell me what you thought of it. Link me to your videos. I've probably watched a lot of them, and I see a lot of you guys agree with me and have similar opinions, so let's feel free to talk about it. Tell me what you thought below. If you haven't seen it, do so. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it.